why settling is just such a dangerous zone to get yourself into. I remember when I first had my first baby boy, I just felt so unfulfilled. I had to find another job that was going to fit in around being a mom. And both sides of me, my career side and also the side of being a mom, I just felt like I wasn't giving either one my all, because I didn't fully feel totally content and happy with one section of my life, which was the job that I was doing. I so desperately wanted to be present and to almost just be like a full-on mom, but knew that I needed a career path. Now, in my line of work, there was no real options for career paths that were going to be flexible or give me the flexibility to have summer holidays off and have time with my boy and to work when I wanted to work and to work from home, other than being self-employed. Now, being self-employed, which I had tried before, basically in most often than not means that you're just buying yourself another job. If you're a one-man band, usually if you don't work, you don't get paid. Now, that wasn't going to be an option for me either. And I remember just feeling so lost. And everybody around me was telling me to almost like shake it off, get over it, feel grateful you've got a job. You know, at the end of the day, like you're working part-time, you get to work, you get to be with your son. And I got into this state where I was getting so in my head and I was like, what's wrong with me? Jade, you just have to be happy. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Can't change it. Just be happy with what you've got. And I went through this zone of starting to let myself settle or believe that I had to settle, because everyone else around me was getting so frustrated that I was getting so upset. And I was like, I couldn't understand why people weren't being empathetic and understanding why I was getting so upset. So instead, I thought the problem was me. And in which case then I started to just settle. And actually what happened over time was, because I wasn't particularly enjoying that job I was having to do, just because it was semi-flexible for this other side of the life that I really wanted, it started to become more and more miserable. And I remember going to sleep on a Sunday night with like a lorry on my chest, feeling so anxious because I just had lost my way. I was like, who even am I? What even is my identity now? Is this it for the rest of my life? And I have to be happy with it and just settle and just crack on. And that's what I felt like society was telling me to do all the time. And I'm here to say you cannot let yourself get into that zone. That zone of settling is so dangerous, because it's not who you are meant to be. It's not your destined path on this world, in this planet, on this world, in your lifespan. You are meant for more. If you have this inner feeling, this gut wrench stab that you're like, oh my gosh, is this going to be it for the rest of my life? But then the other side of you is like, Jay, just be happy. You've got everything you've got like a child, you've got a house over your head and roof over your head, all of those things. Like, yes, that's our ego, like coming in and telling us. But if there's this heart pulling thing that you're like, I'm not fully content, I'm not fully happy, then there is something amiss. And I'm here to say you have to go for something. You have to stand in your own power. You have to stand in that path and move, because all you are doing is allowing your power to be squashed. And what example is that for your children or for the loved ones that are watching you? If I decided just to stop and settle and to go out every day like, oh, I can't, hate what I do, at least it brings in the money, I hate what I do, or, you know, even if I love what I do but it wasn't earning me enough and that was getting me down, all of these things are just factors that you're just settling. You're just allowing life to just take its course, and you're just being like a, you know, I don't know, I can't think what the word is. You're just watching the show. You're not a main player. You're like just you're a character in a play. Like, what character do you want to play? Do you want to play the back burner, where you're just sort of like allowing things to happen and letting other people create the life that they want to create, and you're watching thinking, wow, that looks good, I wish I could do that? Or are you going to be the person that stands in the power and the path to go for it? Now, I was going into a deep depression when I was in that settling path. And when I decided to make some decisions, when I decided for it to be a little bit harder, I decided to step out and just tell everyone I have to do something different. I have to make this work, because if I don't do this, I'm not going to get this life that I want. I'm not going to be there, this dream life that I would ultimately want and love. It's not going to happen unless I change something. Now, I don't know what that looks like for you. It may be a different job, it may be a different career, it may be a different project, it may be anything. But whatever that may be, you have to stand in the power and figure it out. And if you don't know what that is, ask for help. Ask the universe, journal, ask for like clues, whatever it might be. I had no idea I was going to get involved in network marketing, but once I found out what the business model was, I saw it as a vehicle to create a lifestyle that I wanted. I don't actually really feel like there was a career path. I didn't want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a midwife or any of those things. I just knew I wanted to have freedom of time to be able to enjoy days and enjoy things that bring me joy. Eating out lots, meeting my mom, being with the kids, having the summer holidays, jumping on a plane when I want to without having to ask permission. I wanted that. But with that had to become a vehicle to create it. And that's what I found. And I asked for guidance. I asked for help and it found me. So if you are settling and you think, actually, I feel like I've been telling myself to snap out of it, telling myself to get over it, telling myself just to crack on, I'm here to give you permission to say, that is not your life's path journey. It's not your destined purpose. You have to move, you have to change something, because you will always end up on the deathbed with a whole chain of regrets. Wouldn't you rather just absolutely get to the end and be like, I regret nothing, I gave everything my best shot. Some things worked, some things didn't. So what? You gave it everything, rather than just deciding that it was okay and this is okay for you, even when there's something that's in you that's like, it's not quite okay. I hope this makes sense to whoever this reaches, and have a fab evening.